The government has in the upcoming national budget prioritized, among others, strengthening agricultural mechanization, aflatoxin management, and accelerating the agricultural input success program to improve the country's agricultural productivity projects. EcoBank Executive Director for Commercial Banking Humphrey Muturi notes that to address some of these challenges, a huge chunk of Kenya's farming should be shifted to irrigation.
It is difficult to predict rain. We've been having a severe incident of sort of drought and prolonged sunshine, which has led to crop failure in the country. We need to come to a place where we are able to harvest our rain very well and then provide irrigation services to farmers so that we can be very, very self-reliant when it comes to agriculture. So anything that the government can do towards promoting moving from rain-fed agriculture to irrigation, conserving our water, and that sort of plan would be very critical to make sure that we continue to grow our agriculture sector.
With Kenya's post-harvest losses averaging 30%, that mainly affect small-scale farmers, calls have emerged for removal of tax on equipment for use after harvest.
So having the capability to store, this harvest in a good state for the period of time that it is in oversupply, so that there is an availability and even distribution throughout the season, both in and out of season, becomes critically important. So investment in the right storage facilities, the right drying of be it maize and that sort of produce becomes very, very important.
Kenya's huge spending on infrastructure projects and recurrent expenditure means that allocations for other sectors such as agriculture could be negatively affected. Figures on the National Treasury website indicate that agriculture has a draft budgetary allocation of 46 billion shillings.
Much as there is need to increase the support to agriculture, 46 billion shillings may in no way be sufficient to provide that. But you have seen some of the industrial action that's also happened, and all of these are demanding the same resources that are available. And if our economy is not growing at a much faster level, at a much faster rate, to be able to fund some of this recurrent expenditure and some of this development expenditure, then the government becomes limited as to what they can deploy to any given sector. So 46 billion is okay for a start, but I think there is always need for a lot more to grow this very critical sector.
Stakeholders are also calling for a review of inconsistencies in VAT exemption for unprocessed foodstuffs that is still being charged on transportation and storage, as well as payment of VAT refunds for players in the horticulture sector.
The Tax Procedures Act allows for utilization of that tax against other taxes. But that is always a very cumbersome process. Before you get approval, you've already moved into another tax-paying period. And it might also result into refunds, because most of the taxpayers can also opt, instead of offsetting against other taxes, I need a cash refund for the withholding tax. So I think that will still create a lot of headache. Then there is a welcome provision that came into the Tax Procedures Act last year, where the KRA is required to actually pay interest on any late refunds to taxpayers. Now, we are waiting to see this happening, because it really has not happened to anyone.
In addition, the agriculture sector is expected to benefit indirectly from increased budgetary allocation for infrastructure projects such as roads, which will help farmers ferry their produce to the markets. According to the budget policy statement, other areas of focus for the agriculture sector include installation of new milk processing machinery and equipment at new KCC, and improving accessibility of agricultural commodities to markets through cooperative societies. Nicholas Ndwati, Channel 1 Business.